Our heavyweight champion is set to leave the company, so it's time to spin the heavyweight division through the most dangerous and unpredictable tournament in company history, the Strong Style Roulette. Can Mike DiVecchio leave for TNA as the Strong Style heavyweight champion, or will a new star be born? And also strap in for the most emotional segment in Strong Style history. And make sure you drop a like down below if you're looking forward to it, and if we hit 300 likes, I'll get the next episode out as soon as I can. Check out the Patreon, where you can get your hands on a number of save points from this series to play yourself, and purchase TEW IX using the banner at the top of TEWDB.com if you haven't already done so. And the Strong Style Roulette will work the exact same as last time, but instead of the women's division taking part, it will be the heavyweight division. This because of the news that Mike DiVecchio is leaving the company, and we need a new heavyweight champion. And this is the most unpredictable way of doing it. So for those that missed the first roulette, let's break down how it's going to work. The Strong Style Roulette is a 3-round knockout tournament. There'll be quarterfinals, semifinals, and a final. However, there is a twist. The champion of the division that's competing will be in the tournament, and every single one of their matches will be a championship match. If they lose, they will lose the championship, and the new champion will advance through to the next round. So technically there could be 3 title changes before things are all said and done. And before each round, a wheel with the name of each wrestler will be spun to decide who faces who. So whoever gets drawn first will face the person that's drawn second, etc, etc, until there's one person left on the wheel, and they will be getting the championship match that night, so the champion is not on the wheel. But before we get into the action, we need to make 3 signings to fill out the rest of the participants. The names in the hat so far are, of course, Mike DiVecchio, the heavyweight champion, Ryan Davidson, arguably our top babyface, the newly signed King Rex, who is down as our first next big thing in the creative meeting, former heavyweight champion Michael Dante, and Joshua Bishop will also be taking part, who has been with us since day one. And unlike the last time we did the roulette where we actively scouted on the episode, I actually already know who we're going to be bringing in, and as I've already done the scouting, just to make things run a little bit smoother so we can get on with the matches. So the first name that we're going to be bringing in is somebody I'm surprised we haven't actually already signed up until this point, that being MV Young. And he's based in the Mid-South, so he's actually in our region. He's a 12-year veteran, and he is 239 pounds, which puts him in the heavyweight weight class. He's only $40 per show, and he's usually a heel, which is actually what we need because we want to have a balance of 4 faces and 4 heels, as we have Mike DiVecchio, Ryan Davidson, and King Rex, as well as Joshua Bishop as the baby faces, and Michael Dante is the only heel thus far. But yeah, as I say, MV Money, only 32 years old, and he's really, really good across the board. His charisma is 82, his microphone is 74, so he can tell a story on the mic. He's got 65 hardcore and 62 brawling, so that seems to be his style, although he is 52 at technical, so he's not too bad at that, and also 49 at puro. His basics are 61, so there is work to be done there, and his selling is only 57. However, he's consistent with his 73 consistency, safety 77, which is good, and stamina 81. So as I say, a really good talent there. It seems that he was originally based in the tri-state area at the start of the save, which is why we might have passed on him in the past, because I do recognise his picture, but he did move to the Mid-South, it seems, in March 2025, so he's actually been here quite a while, and it looks like he bulked up to the weight that he's at right now as well. So yeah, we're going to bring him in at only $40 per show. We will offer him $30 though, and that'll be without travel, which is amazing. So let's offer him $30, and we'll just leave everything else blank for now. And he does want some merchandise cut, so we'll offer that. It looks like he might want 10%, and there we go. So that's a done deal. So here's the first new signing that'll be added to the list. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Shaf, who I believe we looked at in the first episode. The only issue with this guy is he's $130, so I don't know if he's going to be around long term, but maybe he will if he impresses. We'll try and make him an offer of around $100. But as you can see here, he's very good as a heavyweight. He's 173 pounds, so he's a big guy. He's got 68 brawlings, actually higher than MV Young. Hardcore 58 as well, so they're sort of the same style there, where they like hardcore and brawling. He He is better as a heel as well, which is what we need. His basics at 80, 79 consistency. Selling could be better at 60 though. Safety 76, stamina 74, athleticism 76, but power is 85. So yeah, he's a bit of a powerhouse, as you can see there by his style. He is based in the Northwest, which means that we don't have to pay his travel. Star quality 75, which is very good as well with his muscular physique. And maybe we can even get him up to ripped to improve that star quality even more. In terms of popularity, he's quite popular across the country. However, he's only got 17 in the Mid-South, but obviously we can work on that over the coming months if we do have him stick around. In terms of attributes, actually, we didn't look at MV Young's attributes, which we will do. He's got a badass reputation in the industry. They will protect their image by not getting involved in games or gossip backstage, and are more likely to act as a judge in a wrestler's court and will always stand up for themselves if provoked. As I said, he's better as a heel, he's a fitness fanatic, and he's professional and will risk injury as well if we do need it. So yeah, I think a solid addition to the roster, and yeah, I think we're going to make him an offer. We're actually going to offer him 90 to begin with though, and see how that goes. We need to make it written, so we'll go 90 and see what he says there. Apparently it's much less than he's willing to work for, so how about 100? And he wants 120. How about we try 100 but events only? Obviously we don't have a TV show yet, so he wants 120 still. So we'll drop it back down to everything except house shows, and we'll do 120. And he does want a cut of merchandise as well, so we'll go 5%, 10%, and he seems to be happy to agree to that. So it's not a bad deal. It's a little bit more than our first signing there in MV Young, but I do think he's going to be solid in the heavyweight division were he to stay around long term, as I say. We're going to go back and have a look at MV Young's attributes and just sort of see who he is. So he's a deathmatch wrestler, better as a heel. He's a heavy social media user. He's lively, so he's an upbeat individual and has a positive natural impact on the backstage environment, which is definitely a plus. Negative morale effects on them are quite dampened, which is good. Positive morale effects on them are quite amplified. So if something good happens, he's going to overreact to it and be delighted. If something bad happens, it's not going to bother him too much, which is good. He's also a noted comedy match performer, but we're not going to be using him in that way. He plays comedy, gimmick, swagger, and Weasley/underdog well. Maybe we'll go with swagger. We'll take a look at his gimmick once he signs. He's a risk taker as well, and he's very creative, so he will come up with his own creative ideas, which is going to be useful. But yeah, like I say, there's one more spot left, and this is going to go to Brian Brock. And now this guy is a bit of a cowboy. He's from Florida. He's based in the southeast of the USA. And again, he seems to be a bit of a hidden gem, to be honest. He wants $40 per show. I'm sure we can get that down to 30. He's got 58 brawling and 50 technicals, so he's a bit of a technical brawler, unlike the last two hardcore guys. His charisma and mic skills could definitely be worked on, but they're not too low at 56 and 42 respectively. His basics are 69, so that's nice. 71 for selling, 81 for consistency, and safety is 74, so he's a safe worker. And stamina is 68, so that could definitely improve, but still, I think he's going to be solid. And for the money, I think he's going to be well worth the while. And he's only got 10 popularity in our region, but he is up to 22 there in the mid-Atlantic and 21 in the southeast. In terms of attributes, he's better as a heel, can't play comedy, can't play offbeat/unstable. He's a loner, so he will keep himself to himself. He has a mildly negative natural impact on the backstage environment, apparently. Negative morale effects on them are slightly dampened. Positive morale effects on them are dampened as well, but will rarely become involved in backstage interactions, which is fine. So as long as he's keeping himself to himself, then I guess that's okay. He can't do comedy matches, unlike MV Young, and he actually is a tag team specialist, and he seems to be in a tag team with Mike Patrick as the Dirty Blonde, so let's take a look at him as well. We're not actually going to sign him, but maybe someone to think about in the future. So here he is. And he's actually not too bad either. 71 consistency, 71 stamina, 51 brawling, could be worked on. But I think fundamentally he's not as good. So if we go to Brian Brock again, yeah, you can see how much better he is in fundamental and physical skills. So let's make him an offer then. And we're going to offer him $30 per show and see what he says, basically. So he does want a cut of merchandise. How about 5, 10? And he seems happy to agree as well. So that's the competitors then. So it will be Mike DeVecchio, Ryan Davidson, King Rex, Michael Dante, Joshua Bishop, MV Young, Schaff, and Brian Brock. Now, much like we did with the women's division when we ran the strong style roulette last year, we will likely do some roster cuts to the heavyweight division after everything is finished. And that might see us get rid of some of the guys that have been here for a while, say a Baron Black or even Eric Hammer, who has just finished finished off his feud for the heavyweight title with Mike DiVecchio. Does he have a long-term future here at the age of 46? Probably not, but he has been a good hand so far in terms of legitimizing heavyweight talent, so we'll see how that goes. And Joshua Bishop might be safe, I'm not too sure. King Rex is definitely safe because of the potential he has. Right, so that's done then, and we now need to reactivate the Strong Style Roulette kickoff show, which is currently dormant, so we're going to do that now. So we're going to once again run 3 shows this month, and we're going to move this to September 2026. And we're just going to pick the first for now. Let's check out availability. So we can't do Tuesday because of NXT and Adrian Butler. We can do Saturday the 5th. So we'll set that in for now, and we'll hopefully have the signings in by that point. We'll obviously set it to active, and I think everything else seems to be in order. So that'll be the first round of the tournament taking place in one solo event. So we don't have a Strong Style numbered show dedicated to just the first round of the tournament with no other matches. So we can just do all 4 matches on the kickoff show and then move the semi-finals and finals into the Strong Style, what would be Strong Style 26, I believe, and 27. So that's the plan. So that'll all be happening this month, and by the end of the month we'll have a new Strong Style Roulette winner. As I say, much like last month, we will be running 3 shows, but we're going to do it at very cheap tickets this time to see if we increase in popularity every single time, as we try to test where our limit is in terms of gaining popularity in one single month. So we will be charging, let's take a look, $6 per ticket. We're going to be bringing in around 180 and 190 people. So we're looking at probably, we'll do 185. So we're looking at about $1,000 per show at least. So yeah, that'll be good. And whilst we might still lose money, I'm not entirely sure, because we're not going to be having expensive talent from Europe coming over like we did in the last episode for the Strong Style Showdown. So I think if we keep the worker costs down, which I think we're going to do with the new signings especially MV Young and Brian Brock, then yeah, I think we can turn a profit with 3 shows. That's what we're going to try and do anyway. So let's see how it goes, and that's the aim by the end of the episode. So now that we've got the kickoff show created, we just also need to make sure that we've got the Strong Style main show in a place that we can actually run it. So it's set as Monday the 14th and then Monday the 28th, which seems to be a clash in schedules. It looks like we might have to do the 14th and then the 23rd, so we'll change that once we've held the next Strong Style show. But first, hopefully we can get these signings in before Saturday night so we can run the kickoff show as early as possible. So let's skip forward and see if we can get them in. So here we are then on the Thursday night, and it looks like all 3 of them have signed up, so that's good. MV Young, Shaf and Brian Brock in the door. And let's make sure we don't have a comedy gimmick on MV Young, because that will not be received well by our audience, who are here for serious wrestling. So he currently has a swagger gimmick set by default, so we're just going to keep that on. And let's also double check the other guys. So Shaf is coming in as a badass mother effer, and that's set to badass, which is fine. And the last one would be Brian Brock, who is in as a old school heel, which is a Weasley / underdog gimmick. I don't know if he needs to be an underdog, but I suppose Weasley is the heel version of that. So I guess that's fine. We'll just go with that, if that's what he's best at. Right, so before we get to the show, I do want to address the current situation surrounding Mike DiVecchio after signing a exclusive deal with TNA, which means he will be leaving us in a number of days. So he has 20 days left on his contract, which actually, I've just remembered, might affect our schedule. So we need to get everything done by the 23rd, really. So yeah, that works, I think. How about, actually, we move Strong Style 6. We're going to do that, just in case it gets to the final. Obviously, I'm not the controller of the draw, so I don't know. But we're going to move to Monday the 7th. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, Monday the 14th we needed. So we'll save that. And then, after that's finished, we're going to arrange Strong Style 27, depending on if Mike DiVecchio is still in the tournament, to Wednesday the 16th. If he's knocked out and he's gone, we'll just move it to Wednesday the 23rd. That's what we're going to go with in terms of schedule. But as I was saying, as before I rudely interrupted myself, Mike DiVecchio has signed a full-time deal with TNA Wrestling. Now, I've been digging into why this happened, because I was a little bit surprised that they were able to offer that. So if you go into TNA's news here, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling have risen to medium size. So that happened on the 31st of July. They offered him a new contract about a month later, but then they fell to small small size just after he signed the new deal. So they were able to offer him an exclusive contract because they got to medium, and then almost immediately they fell back down. So now they can't offer exclusive deals anymore. Talk about bad luck. But one of the things that I've been worried about since this is the future of Killer Kelly, who is at the minute the face of the company right now. And she also has a deal with TNA that at some point, if they were to go back up to medium, would allow them to offer an exclusive deal to her. So that is a pending problem right there that we do need to keep an eye on. But hopefully for now, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, we do need to be wary of that threat. However, one thing I have noticed is that her deal is ongoing. So it doesn't have an expiry date where they would sort of initiate contract negotiations. So I'm hoping that will protect us. But there might be just a point where they just want to bring her in full time anyway. But I think it's less likely if there isn't an expiry date. And that's just what I'm thinking anyway. I might be wrong, but let me know what you think about that. Everybody's in the door ready for this year's Strong Style Roulette. So let's spin it. Right, so for giving people the night off, I'm going to do that off screen. So I've done all the wrestlers just there. We're also going to give Danilo and Fibio the night off once again. Adrian Butler will be our only referee. And other than that, it's just the heavyweight guys in the tournament. So there's no Killer Kai, no Killer Kelly, or anybody else from any other divisions. It's solely the Strong Style Roulette tonight. We're expecting 158 fans for this one, apparently. So it seems a little bit less than normal. We're going to actually see if there's any realistic venues that we can use. So due to a lack of approximate places, a generic venue has been chosen as the best potential. Okay. So for booking team meeting then, we have generated 87 creative energy. That seems so low. Obviously, that's not helped by the bad chemistry between Wicked and two of our members of the booking team. So again, work to be done there, but not something we're going to spend time on today. We will be bringing in some things for future shows. I don't think we're going to use any creative ideas tonight unless we get something specific for the wrestlers on the show. But even then, it depends how far they're going to get. Actually saying that, I'm not going to know because it's the roulette. I don't know. We'll see. So we've got a near certainty creative finish with no restrictions. So that'll probably be used later on down the line in the tournament. We're going to get another creative finish, or are we? How about we get a gimmick idea? Okay, so a big gamble. Okay, probably shouldn't have done that. Well, that's fine. And then we've got 47 left, so we're going to try a character idea to try and get some momentum for somebody. And this one's a safe bet and can be applied to Wicked. Okay, so we'll do that. Why not? And we've also got some other stored creative ideas as well. We've got a Kevin Blackwood finish that expires next year. Same with a Killer Kelly creative finish. And then we've got two generic ones, one a big gamble and one a near certainty. So we've got some stuff to play with going forward. We've got some locker room incidents apparently, and there's been some backstage talk over how much King Rex is being influenced by Shaft, having begun acting in a similar way. Okay, so Shaft is a professional personality, King Rex is a people person. So I suppose they're both two good personality types. I would probably rather King Rex be a people person though, but that's fine. Now we need to address the locker room. We're going to do a rib, why not? So let's find out who's unhappy based on who we have at the show. So it seems that everyone so far is happy. So yeah, this is actually a really happy show. So what we're going to do, because of that, is do some team bonding and see if we can build some stronger relationships. Nothing note where we came from it. That's fine. Okay, so never mind that. Right, so let's get to the wheel then and find out who's facing who in tonight's show. Right, so let's find out who our first participant will be in tonight's events then. And it looks like it's going to be Brian Brock here in his debut match for the company, and it'll be interesting to see if he goes up against somebody that's also debuting. So let's spin the wheel once again and find out. And it looks like King Rex. Okay, so an interesting matchup there. Brian Brock making his debut against the next big thing. So let's book that match in right now. And of course, I'm not going to show you the winner just yet. We're just going to get the match in the card. So it was King Rex versus Brian Brock. So neither of them two will be getting a championship match this time around, but maybe in the next round. And for the second match of the night then, let's find out who's up next. And it's going to be Shaft. So another debutant there, making his Strong Style debut, of course. And he will be going up against, wow, Ryan Davidson. So probably the favourite of the competition, I would say, if there were to be odds on this. Somebody that's made it to the final of both Strong Style Showdowns. And can he do the same in the Strong Style Roulette? We will find out this episode. So it's going to be Ryan Davidson versus Shaft. So a very interesting matchup there. I would say. And we've got 3 names left on the wheel. One of these will be earning a championship match if they are left on the wheel at the end. And of course, the first 2 to be picked won't be in the championship match this time around, but it will be Joshua Bishop, it seems, unless it can edge over there to MV Young, and it did. Okay, so MV Young is up next, and he will be going up against... seems to be Joshua Bishop, so it will be Michael Dante versus Mike DiVecchio as well. So a rematch of the last heavyweight title change there. So Joshua Bishop will be going up against MV Young. So an interesting match there. 2 up-and-coming heavyweights, I would say, both around the age of 30. So that should be a good match. And we will also see Michael Dante in a rematch against Mike DiVecchio with the heavyweight title on the line. Very interesting stuff is happening in this first round. So that, of course, will be the main event. And I'm going to go through this now and sort out all of the road agent notes. And I'll be back with you in just 1 second. And much like last time, I've decided that there will be no promos tonight. It's going to be purely action. And we're going to open up with the Joshua Bishop versus MV Young match. And we're actually going to put Ryan Davidson and Shaf on second last, with King Rex and Brian Brock going on second. And of course, we're main evented by the heavyweight championship match between current champion and former champion Mike DiVecchio and Michael Dante. So let's get into it and find out who goes through to the semi-finals, as MV Young has defeated Joshua Bishop in our first match tonight in what is a technical masterclass using underhanded tactics. So the new heel on the block has used every means necessary to defeat Joshua Bishop tonight, who was the best performer in the match but has put over the debuting MV Young tonight. MV Young's polyam cult leader gimmick got a very good, and the match got the show off to a strong start. So MV Young has advanced in the tournament. And next up we go to the King Rex versus Brian Brock match, which got a 41, and advancing to the next round is King Rex, as many of you likely predicted there, defeating Brian Brock in 11 minutes 34 by pinfall. And King Rex there with a 44, so great stuff from him, with Brian Brock debuting with a decent 32, not too bad from him as well. And Brian Brock debuted his old school heel gimmick and got an adequate, so not too bad, but not the best either. But as I say, King Rex has advanced through to the next round alongside MV Young. And now we go to a solid match here between Ryan Davidson and Shaf, getting a 52 overall, and it's Ryan Davidson defeating Shaf in 11 minutes 53 by pinfall with a big frog splash. And Ryan Davidson there with a 51, and Shaf actually getting a 49, so he's got a better performance than some of the guys that have actually qualified to the next round. But that is the nature of the wheel, and Shaf has debuted his badass MFer gimmick and got great, so really good stuff there from him. And 52 overall for this one. And can the title match top it? And will we see a new champion going through to the next round? Let's find out. And we have got a 55 in the main event, so that's really good. However, Mike DiVecchio has advanced through to the next round as the champion and has held on to his title and defeated Michael Dante for the second time, when Michael Dante got disqualified after going into an attacking rage. So he was disqualified here, and the hate within the hate faction seems to be spreading, and Michael Dante losing control tonight. And he didn't lose by getting defeated, but he got himself disqualified after going too far. So yeah, I think that's a great way of protecting Dante and also keeping the belt on DiVecchio for the later rounds. And I don't think Michael Dante comes out of this looking weak. He just looks even more aggressive than he did coming into it, which, yeah, win-win for that. And Mike DiVecchio makes defense number 3 of his strong style heavyweight title. And will he be able to get that up to 4 defenses or maybe even 5? We'll find out. Mike DiVecchio did get a 57, so really good stuff from him, and 39 there from Michael Dante, and a 55 segment rating overall. And yeah, we got the match ordered perfectly tonight with a 39, 41, 52 and 55, and we gained popularity in one region, and hopefully we've gone up to 18 tonight because it's taken us 3 shows so far on cheap tickets, but now we're on very cheap. Hopefully we gain a little bit more pop than last time. And we will praise some of the losers tonight. There's nobody that we need to please in terms of morale, but I do want to praise Joshua Bishop. He's a long-term strong style guy, maybe never really given the shine that he wants, but he's still here and his time might come soon, we'll see. And who else lost? So Shaft did really well. So I think we should actually give him praise for a great performance tonight. And we'll run that. In terms of financials, we only lost $200 tonight. So as I said earlier, if we spend much less on workers this month, we could definitely turn a profit. And that's really good to see financially that we're not losing heavily, even though we've lowered the ticket prices. And I do think the free shows per month thing is sustainable. That is, if we gain pop each time. But if we gain no popularity on the third show, we'll just drop back down to 2. But that is part of today's long-term experiment. But in terms of today's experiment, this show is definitely a financial success, as once our sponsorships start coming in, we'll make that money back very easily. And for popularity recap, are we at 18, please? What is going on? Why are we not going up? Why are we not at 18? Is the game glitched or something? Oh my god. If we end this month at 17, I am gonna quit. The company's closing down and we'll start an AEW save or something. Alright. I don't know what's going on. We haven't got a maximum size set, have we? No limit. That's fine. Size criteria. There's nothing in there, of course. Track progress. So it did take 2 months to go from 14 to 16. So maybe I'm just overreacting here. But I feel like after 4 shows, we should have gone up by now. Hopefully it happens by the end of the next show anyway. But let's get into it. We need to first, though, rearrange the event, don't we? Or do we? Have we already done it? No, we've already done it. So Monday the 14th. Or did we say Monday the 7th? I'm sure that wasn't available earlier. I don't know why it is now. Maybe I'm misremembering. But let's go for that. Monday the 7th. So we're getting straight into it, really. It's tomorrow. In terms of attendance, wasn't our best show, really, was it? So I'm not sure why that is either. Is it because this is more prestigious, this event? I'm guessing so. I think that's probably what it is, isn't it? We did get a higher attendance than last time we ran the Strong Style Roulette. Around 6 months ago. I actually thought it was last year, but apparently not. But I don't mind actually having this twice a year, since we do have 3 divisions to work with. And I think it really mixes up and freshens up the division, because I like to bring in people for it, and it gives us a good opportunity to try some new names. So yeah, let me know what you think about having it twice a year. The showdown will remain annual, but yeah, maybe an annual showdown and 2 roulettes. That could work. We do actually need to apply the character idea to Hala Wicked to see if we can give him some momentum. So we're going to do that now. And it was a success, so that's good to see. He's now got warm momentum. And actually, let me just check morale. How many unhappy people have we got now? So we've got Kevin Blackwood, Josh Cody, Danilo Amphibio, and Hyan, as well as David Marquez. So why is David Marquez upset? So he's annoyed about being left off shows. He's down as a personality, that's probably why, but you're not actually a personality, you're just a booker. So I'm going to untick that, and hopefully he stops getting upset about missing shows. Danilo Amphibio is only annoyed because he was removed from the inner circle, not about missing shows. Hyan is irritated at being left off in June. So was that a show that we didn't give her the night off for? I'm not entirely sure. I might have to go back and have a look at the footage. Josh Cody's, of course, upset because he's been removed from the inner circle and the booking team, but I think we paid him back by giving him the Strong Style Junior Heavyweight title. And Kevin Blackwood is annoyed at being left off in August. So was that another show that he wasn't given the night off to? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. We're just going to try and let the morale fix itself naturally without giving any bonuses or anything like we recently did and spent $1,000 on. And I want to just have a quick look through the creative meeting to see if any of our heavyweights have made it onto the list. So doesn't seem many of them are on the franchise players, but you will notice that Mike DiVecchio, despite being our best in-ring performer arguably behind Viano Free Jr., he's only our 5th best franchise player, behind even Trish Adora, who is up in 2nd, interestingly, ahead of the champion Nicole Matthews. Of course, Killer Kelly there at the top, and Viano coming in at 4th. In terms of next big things, it's only King Rex in both Hot Prospects and Next Big Things, so nobody's been added to that. In terms of Talk the Talk, MV Young is now at the top. Great at connecting with a crowd. MV Young has extremely impressive charisma, impressive microphone skills, and impressive star presence. And speaking of star presence, we should probably ask everybody that we've just signed to get in better shape to get their star quality up. We'll do that in a second. Nobody's been added to Showstoppers, but Viano Free Jr. is at the top of the list. Ring Generals, nobody's made it onto there either. And Who's Hot and Who's Not is just momentum, which we already know about. Let's ask the new signings if they want to get into better shape. So I don't think I've assigned a division, so we can just go to none. And we can also add wrestler just to narrow it down. So we need to ask Brian Brock, see what he says. I'd like you to get in better shape. And he's not interested in changing his body shape at this point in his career. He's only 32. It's not like he's at the end, but that's okay. But we also need to give him a division. So we'll do that. Right. MV Young, we're going to try the same thing. We become even more muscular. And he's taken the suggestion on board. So that's really good. So that'll improve his standing in Talk the Talk even more. And once again, we're going to give him a division. And finally, for Shaft, we're going to ask him too, and he's taken the suggestion on board too, so that's good to see. And we'll put him in the heavyweight division. And also, let's take a look at their perception amongst the fans then. So we've actually got quite a lot of major stars here, and in terms of new signings, none of them are major stars from what I can see, but MV Young is considered a star, Shaft is considered well known, and Brian Brock is recognisable. So yeah, in terms of star power and standing on the roster, MV Young is considered a star, likely because he won his match. I reckon his momentum is playing a part in that, but that's good to see, and he will be in the next round of the tournament, of course. Can he go all the way? Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, with all the admin out the way, let's get into the show, and I'll give all the relevant people once again the night off. Right, so that's all in. And let's also once again use a generic venue, and we're actually expecting 193 fans tonight, so the lower attendance last time does seem to be linked to the prestige of the event, because we've ran 25 of them so far. And let's go into the booking team then and spend some creative energy. So we've only got 74 points stored, and everybody is in attendance in the creative team, so yeah, this is really low. At one point we were up to like 150, and we probably shouldn't have messed with the creative team when we did, when it was Brian Idle and Josh Cody, Jim Perry. Yeah, we probably should have kept it like it was, but either way, let's get a creative finish in the bank, a near certainty, and can be applied to matches where Viano Free Jr. is set to be the victor. So I'm sure he's going to pick up a couple of wins before March, so I think we can keep that one and save the rest for later. And in terms of locker room incidents, Ninja Mac, who we've actually had before on the show, has turned up and wants to be backstage. He's a relaxed personality type. His attributes are he's at home in Japan, which is interesting. He's not a natural, so his skills will increase at a slower rate. But in terms of personality, I don't see any issues. He's relaxed and he's a mildly positive natural impact backstage, so that is fine. I think we will let him come in. He has worked at Strong Style before. He lost to Rey Mysterio 4, of course, if you remember. So maybe we owe him one there and we'll let him come in. We're going to offer him a one-night deal and probably not use him. So yeah, he does want to be paid. You know what, I think we're just going to leave it then. Normally they want to come in for free and hang out, but that's fine. Right, so King Rex came to you backstage with an idea for enhancing his character. It has automatically been added to your stored creative ideas, so we'll check that out in a second. Ryan Davidson and Viano Free Jr. have really bonded backstage, okay. Having discovered a shared love of circus skills. Very interesting. Next up, Kevin Blackwood entertained the locker room by organising a poker tournament. That's good. Killer Kai and Mike DeVecchio apparently butted heads backstage and both are furious with each other. Okay. So Mike is on his way out the door, so that beef will not be around much longer. Ryan Davidson and Hala Wicked have been getting on particularly well recently, and that is everything. For Address the Locker Room, I think we will pull a rib this time. And so yeah, we're going to pull a rib on David Marquez, just a minor rib, and he's said to be upset. Okay, great. That went well. I think actually his morale will be affecting the creative energy that we're generating, so it's probably a good idea to try and get him happy again. So maybe we do offer him a small bonus of $50. So he's irritated. Let's see if it works. And yeah, he's still irritated. Okay, yeah, we're not going to overdo it. But anyway, we need to get to the wheel then, so let's spin it for the first time tonight. And we'll only be spinning it twice. And it's Ryan Davidson first. So he will be entering the non-title semi-final, and he will be taking on either MV Young or King Rex, and it's MV Young, okay. So MV Young versus Ryan Davidson will take on, in the final, either King Rex or Mike DeVecchio. That is interesting, so let's book that in then. So it's Ryan Davidson versus MV Young, and it's also, of course, King Rex, one of the favourites for the tournament, going up against the champion, Mike DeVecchio. Actually, I'd like to have the champion first and King Rex there. And that one will be the main event and will be for the title. And can King Rex win the title before the final? Do we want King Rex to lose another match this early on in his strong style career? His current record is already 1-1, I believe. So let's take a quick look at that. So yeah, Eric Hammer defeated him in the strong style showdown qualifying match. This before we knew his potential. And King Rex also knocked out Brian Brock in the Roulette quarter-final. And could Rex leave the semi-finals as champion? I'd say there's a chance. Right, so the card is booked in then, and Kevin Blackwood will take on Hallowicked tonight in the junior heavyweight division. So that should be a good match to kick things off. Then we go to the semi-final of the strong style roulette, where Ryan Davison takes on MV Young, before Killer Kelly and Killer Kai finally step into the ring one-on-one, as announced last month by Michael Dante, and it will be Killer versus Killer for the first time. That before our heavyweight championship main event, where Mike DeVecchio takes on King Rex. And can the next big thing topple the champion before he leaves the company? Let's find out. And actually, before we do that, I've just remembered that King Rex has the character idea, so let's quickly apply that to him. And it was a success. So he has warm momentum now, which is good to see. And we have used a creative finish on the first match involving Kevin Blackwood, but it's not the one that we just picked up in the creative meeting that's specifically for Blackwood. This one is the one that was a big gamble, and it's paid off, so that's good to see. But Kevin Blackwood got an in-ring performance of 63 as he defeats Hallowicked, as expected, with a running knee strike. And he actually got a 62 rating, so really good stuff there from Blackwood, carrying the match in that respect, with Hallowicked getting a 36, and the match got the show off to a strong start. So just getting Kevin Blackwood a win there and getting him back in the main mix of things. After the match, Kevin Blackwood stands on the second rope to celebrate, but out of nowhere, Viano Free Jr. runs up behind and hits him with a low blow as Blackwood stumbles down to his feet. Viano delivers a running corner drop kick to take Blackwood down before a corkscrew moonsault finishes the job off. Viano then signals to his waist, seemingly implying that he's coming for Josh Cody and his junior heavyweight championship. And this segment was really good actually, with a 50. I think probably our highest segment yet. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it's right up there for sure. And yeah, Viano's taken down Kevin Blackwood to make a statement, and he wants the title. So has Josh Cody's first challenger been revealed? We'll find out soon. And next up we go to that semi-final, as Ryan Davidson has made his way to the grand final of the strong style roulette after defeating MV Young in 11 minutes 31 with a big frog splash. And Ryan Davidson there with a 49, so decent performance from him, with MV Young just about keeping up with him with a 47, as we get a 51 overall. So really good match from these two. MV Young showing that he can go head to head with the main guys in the division at this point. So yeah, it looks like he was a good signing, and that is significantly higher than MV Young's 34 in the last show, so good improvements from him. And Ryan Davidson got a 51 last time, so it's about the same this time around. And then we go to the first match between the two killers, Killer Kelly and Killer Kai, and in about that had great wrestling and good heat. Killer Kelly drew with Killer Kai in 14 minutes 41 following a double countout. So it seems that a regular match between these two women will not contain the heat between them, and it looks like we might have to make things a little bit more interesting going forward. But Killer Kelly got a 54 here, while Killer Kai got a 50, so really good performances from both of them, and the Hate Reborn storyline has advanced with this segment and gained heat. And I believe it had really good heat already, so that's gone up yet again, and I think we'll take a look at that after this show. And a 54 overall is a really good way to take us into the main event, where hopefully we get even better and potentially a new champion. Let's find out. And it got a 59 overall, so an even better main event here. But Mike DeVecchio has once again successfully defended his heavyweight title, defeating King Rex in 9 minutes 52 by pinfall. And he makes defense number 4 of his strong style heavyweight title. And Mike DeVecchio had an in-ring performance of 57, King Rex had an in-ring performance of 45, and King Rex is getting better at his gimmick as well, which is good to see. And overall, as I say, 59 segment rating. And I was tempted, honestly, to put the title on King Rex here, but I just feel the story has to finish with Mike DeVecchio versus Ryan Davidson. But can Mike win that one and leave as the champion, which would vacate it, and then that would set up an interesting situation where we're trying to find the new champion, or has Ryan Davidson got enough to take him down? And over the entire series, in the heavyweight division, so far Mike DiVecchio and Ryan Davidson are the two best average performers. When we don't account for Schaff, who actually got a 49 in his one match for the company. In terms of long-term data, Ryan Davidson and Mike DiVecchio are the standouts of the division, so it just feels right that they battle for the title as Mike leaves the company. And for a overall rating then, we got a 58, increasing our popularity in one region, but did it take us to 18? That is the big question. But we will be praising some of the losers in tonight's show, so we will praise King Rex, of course. We're going to say compliment him on a good performance, and I think MV Young did really well as well, keeping up with Ryan Davidson, and we'll compliment him on a good performance too. So King Rex was happy and MV Young seemed pleased. And for financials then, we lost 200 last time, there and abouts, and this time we lost 506. Okay, that's probably likely down to having Killer Kelly on the show. We also had Viano come in for a spot, but still that's not too bad and could be a lot worse. And we're still on course, I think, to make a profit this month. What's most important is, did we gain popularity, and are we finally at 18? And we did it. Finally. Right, okay. It only took 5 shows, but we've finally gone from 17 to 18. And what will now be interesting to see, as I've said many times, is if this third show at very low ticket prices continues to give us more popularity, or do we reach that cap? So like I said then, let's take a look at the storyline, which we haven't really covered too much since we created it early on in the series. But the heat for it is extremely hot at this point, and the greatest segment of the rivalry so far is that double count-out match between Killer Kai and Killer Kelly. And things are only just starting as well. This storyline started in February 2025, so nearly 2 years ago at this point. And that was, of course, before Killer Kelly was even on the scene. It started when Killer Kai and Michael Dante united, before giving Junai Kai the killer name. And this is our version of the Bloodline saga, I guess. And now we just need to rearrange the show so Mike DiVecchio can make it. So he leaves now in 15 days. So we've got till like the 23rd. So let's do that. Availability, so he's going to be gone on the 23rd. So we're going to move the next show to the 14th of September, which gives us plenty time. So 14th of September, just to double check, that is correct. And I just want to go over the top 100s once again. Strong Style 26, our last show, is just as good as our greatest ever show ever, 15. So yeah, big success. Obviously helped by the title match main event, the Killer Kai versus Killer Kelly match. And yeah, a really good card across the board. So things are going up and up and up. And in terms of best matches ever, Mike DiVecchio versus King Rex is there in at number 6. And Ryan Davidson versus MV Young is actually number 20. And if you notice there as well, Ryan Davidson versus Schaff from the quarterfinal is number 18. So 2 standout signings there if they're already on the top 20 matches of all time. We'll check attendance as well, as Strong Style 26 was our most attended show ever, with 193 people in the building. And how are we doing financially so far? We're only 8 days into the month, but we've held 2 shows. And we're currently $496 down, with 617 sponsorship coming in the door so far. I think we will end this month profitable, even though we're doing 3 shows, which could set us up again for 4 shows. Maybe we bring in like a new concept for a show that happens every month, something that uses the undercard guys a little bit more, so we can build people up ready for the main Strong Style show. That could be interesting and something worth thinking about. Maybe I'll try and think of some names for what that could be called. However, we need to get to the 14th now, so let's do that. And we're at the day of the show, and I just want to quickly mention that this bottom bar here has been altered. So you can see that different buttons are now appearing in a different order. And this is what I think is the best combination. So if that's something you want to copy, feel free to do so. If you click this button next to the buttons, you can choose what you want to be on there. And this is the order that I've picked. So we can get to our ticket prices, our production, our merchandise, our alliance, our booking team, and inner circle. I think those are the new ones, all just with a click of the button at the bottom here. And this is visible on every page rather than having to go into the office and finding it in this sea of buttons. So maybe that's something that you will find useful if you're doing the same challenge. So I've given the relevant people the night off once again, and interestingly I've decided not to bring Hallowicked in, just to see how that affects the creative team meeting and the creative energy generated, because obviously he's got bad chemistry with 2 people, and it will let us know whether it's worth considering taking him out. So let's see. So we generated, yeah, it's definitely helped, 127 creative energy with just Michael Dante, David Marquez, Emi Sakura and Jim Smallman in the room, with David Marquez actually generating the most, 44 there. So let's spend that creative energy. Let's get a creative finish in, a bit of a gamble with no restrictions, okay. Let's just double check what we've already got. So we've got a creative finish, bit of a gamble, a creative finish, a near certainty, a gimmick idea, a big gamble that we're probably not going to use, a Kevin Blackwood creative finish, that one's a near certainty, Killer Kelly creative finish, a big gamble, and Viano Free Jr. a near certainty creative finish. Okay, so we have a few creative finishes, so I think we'll leave that for now. We're going to do 2 of angle idea, story idea, or character idea, because they're 40 each and we can get 2 of those. So let's go with character idea first. A bit of a gamble on any one, so we'll get that. And we'll try an angle idea. And this one's a near certainty on any one, so that'll become useful. And we'll leave that there for the meeting. So apparently David Marquez and Josh Cody had a blazing argument outside the venue. David Marquez has a driven personality. Josh Cody has a people personality. And if you're arguing with Josh Cody, I think you're the problem. So David Marquez, pack it in. Emi Sakura ran pre-show training drills to work on basics and safety with Zeta Zhang and Kylie Alexa. Both of them are coming in for a match tonight. And we'll go through the card, of course, soon. And for addressing the locker room, maybe we can meddle in some things. So the only relationships in the building are actually Miranda Elise and Joshua Bishop, who are dating, okay? So I don't know if it's worth doing that because there's no negative heat between anyone other than the argument we've just seen, but it doesn't look like that's bubbled over to anything major. We're not going to fire anyone. We're not going to do an intervention. We recently did team bonding. Let's try it and see what happens. It strengthened the relationship between Miranda Elise and Joshua Bishop, so that's good to see. And we're going to open up with a three-way match between Kylie Alexa, Miranda Elise and Zeta Zhang, all of whom haven't been seen on the show in quite a while and haven't been seen in the longest of everybody in the division. Then we're going to see the return of Shaf for the first time since he was knocked out of the strong style roulette in the first round, and he will take on Joshua Bishop, who too also lost. Josh Cody will then issue an open challenge for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, which will be his first defense of his title before Mike DeVecchio defends his heavyweight championship against Ryan Davidson as DeVecchio looks to leave the company on top. And can the local Texas boy be the one to stop him? Let's find out. And we open up with the three-way women's match as Miranda Elise has defeated Kylie Alexa and Zeta Zhang when she pinned Kylie Alexa using a drive-by. And this was actually a really good match as Kylie Alexa got a 36, Zeta Zhang got a 42, with the winner Elise getting a 44, giving us a 46 to start things off, which is good to see, and hopefully the night can only get better and better. So let's continue. And we go into the Shaf versus Joshua Bishop match as Shaf has managed to pick up his first ever win in strong style after using a foreign object. So the heel has cheated to win here, but he's made a statement nonetheless, and Shaf had an in-ring performance of 45, so not too far off his last performance, whilst Joshua Bishop got a 37, so it looks like we picked the right winner here, and we used a creative finish that I believe was a bit of a gamble, but it has paid off, and we get a 47 overall. And then the new strong style junior heavyweight champion Josh Cody makes his way to the ring to speak to the crowd for the first time following his title win last month. He says that he appreciates the support of all the fans over the past couple of years, and he is only champion because every strong style fan stuck with him and made him stronger. He says there's been a lot of talk about fighting champions around here, so tonight he's issuing an open challenge to anybody in the division. He even adds that this championship reign is his swan song here in Strong Style Americas, and when he loses, he will officially retire from competition in the company. This before the challenge is accepted by Viano Free Jr., the man that made his intentions clear at the last show. And if you're going to issue a retirement open challenge, this is not the man you want to come up against. He'll do anything it takes to win the title. But can Josh Cody start his reign off with a bang by defeating the seemingly unstoppable Viano Free Jr.? And if he loses, his time in a strong style ring is officially done. Let's see how it goes. This got a 27, so not too bad. But Viano Free Jr. has cheated his way to victory against Josh Cody in 12 minutes 23. even submitting him. You can imagine the scene at the end, the crowd crying out for Josh Cody not to tap, and eventually he just has to. And he is the new Strong Style Junior Heavyweight Champion. And it's over. The story's over. Josh Cody finished his story, won the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Got lucky, really, in finding himself in a championship match. He didn't win a match up until that point. Since his debut, he's lost every single match until he got a bye into the Strong Style Showdown elimination match. He managed to eliminate the champion LJ Cleary, earning himself a title match. But he didn't win the elimination match. He was eliminated in the end. He managed to catch LJ Cleary off guard, pinning him in a roll-up. But it's all over now. And the boyhood dream is over. And Viano Free Jr., the villain, the ultimate heel now in this company, has retired. Josh Cody. And for Josh Cody, he had an in-ring performance of 35. Viano Free Jr. got a 56, and the creative finish that we used was a success, bringing us 54 overall. There's not much more we can do with Josh Cody going forward. He's not going to go on an unbeaten title run, and frankly the division has outgrown him now. I think the junior heavyweight division is our strongest as well, and the strongest competitor in the entire company is Viano, so what better way of getting incredible heat on him doing exactly what's just happened. So, like I say, Josh Cody, it's been emotional. But it's over now. And after forcing Josh Cody to submit, Viano Free Jr. grabs his newly won championship belt from the referee as he prepares to strike Cody when he gets to his feet. However, Kevin Blackwood runs out to make the save, and Viano escapes and lives to fight another day as Blackwood helps Josh Cody to his feet, raising his hand as the emotional audience give him a standing ovation. And we used an angle idea on this one and got a 48. And in this segment, we've essentially transferred the sympathy for Cody into, and his popularity, I guess, onto Blackwood here, and making him a babyface. Although there hasn't been an official turn just yet because the game keeps telling me it's too soon. But in effect, he's now a babyface in the junior heavyweight division and is the babyface in the division at this point. So yeah, 48 segment there. Good rating for a segment as we go into the main event to find out who will leave as the heavyweight champion. And Ryan Davidson has defeated Mike DiVecchio in 13 minutes 57 by pinfall once again with a big frog splash. And a really good match there with a 59 rating. Ryan Davidson wins the Strong Style Heavyweight title and the Strong Style Roulette. Once again, unfortunately, Mike DiVecchio gets 57. Incredible performances from him throughout his career in Strong Style Americas. But it's time for him to leave, and the man to take over is Ryan Davidson, somebody that's been consistent throughout, and it's now his time to be on top of the division. And the creative finish that we used was a success, which helped us get a 59 overall. And for show rating, we got a 55, which is very good. And we increased our popularity in one region. So free shows does work at very cheap. So maybe we should try 4. We'll see how it goes. But to address the locker room, we're going to praise Josh Cody for a good performance. And we're going to praise not Mike DiVecchio because he's leaving. So we don't really need to give him a morale boost. And we're actually going to do something rare and not praise a loser of a match, but we're just going to praise Kevin Blackwood there and point out as a good example. So give him a little boost. And Josh Cody was happy with the speech and Kevin Blackwood seemed pleased. And for financial report, we only lost $284 this time, so an improvement on the last show. We lost slightly more than the first show of today's episode, but that's okay. And for popularity, did we go up to 19? And we didn't. Okay, we're at 18. Ideally, we want to be at 20 by the time Strong Style 30 comes around, because that would mean that we can put it on YouTube. But that's something we'll have to look at. Let's take a look. So the next show will, of course, be Strong Style 28. So that would give us 2 shows to get up to 20, which might mean we need to introduce that show we were talking about earlier, where we use lower card talent so we can get more shows in before 30 comes around. And as I say, we'll be able to get on YouTube if we get to 20 before Strong Style 30. As you can see here, 20 popularity in one region. And that's the same thing actually for independentwrestling.tv, which would actually bring us in some money as it's a subscription service. Theoretically be on both. So if we can do that just in time for 30, that would be really good. So I'm thinking next month running 4 shows, 2 of this new lower card show and 2 Strong Style main shows, and hopefully that's enough to get us to 20, but that's something we'll look at in the admin section of the next episode, and we'll think of a name and stuff like that. But it is time to say goodbye to Josh Cody, at least in the ring, so we're going to untick his wrestler role there, and we'll think about what to do next in the next episode. And that also means that Mike DiVecchio is leaving. He had a very good run in Strong Style, so let's take a look at his match history over all years. And yeah, he actually debuted this year in February, went on a run of 8 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses, winning the Strong Style Heavyweight Championship at Strong Style 20 Night 2 in his 4th ever match for the company. So he went on a win, defeating Baron Black, defeating Eric Hammer by countout, defeating The Butcher, and then that earned himself the title match. He got the win and has been dominant ever since. He's only lost the tag match that he teamed with Josh Cody against Eric Hammer and Viano Free Jr. Another of his losses is the elimination match that he failed to win in the Strong Style Showdown, and of course his final match being in the Strong Style Roulette final to Ryan Davidson. As for Josh Cody, once again, let's take a look at his run in the company. So we'll go to all years. He debuted on February 2025, nearly 2 years ago now. He actually showed up backstage at our first ever show, requesting that he can just hang around. That got his foot in the door. He then eventually got a match at Strong Style 5. He said, "I'll fight anyone." Ended up facing the 6'6" giant Eric Hammer. Went on a losing streak all the way until Strong Style 25, where he finally managed to find his way into a championship match without picking up a win at all, just eliminating the champion in the Strong Style Showdown elimination match, which was won by Viano Jr., and then it's Viano Jr. that's come in, accepted the open challenge, the rightful challenger I would say, and he's cheated his way, unfortunately, to making Josh Cody submit and give up his Strong Style career. And as we edge closer to the end of the month to check out the financial situation, you'll see a lot of the body type changes are now starting to come through, as we requested. We're not going to look at all of them, but we will check out Janai Kai or Killer Kai to see if her star quality is going up. So if we go to track progress and performance skills, you'll see here that it has jumped up to 55, and it was always 55, okay. Try LJ Cleary, he's now gone from tone to muscular, and his star quality is 35 still, okay. Maybe it takes a little bit of time to kick in then. Have we got any ones that happened a little bit longer ago? So you've got Killer Kelly here, that was on the 20th of August, so that was a month ago. Gives her a little bit of time to actually get her skill up. So if we go to track progress again, and performance skills, star quality is, 72. So yeah, it seems like it takes a little bit of time to kick in, so she's gone from 70. You'll see she's been 70 since last September, and she's now gone up to 72. And to finish things off then, I've just simmed to the end of the month, just to see the financial situation, and we did actually turn a profit there with 3 shows, which is really interesting, and it looks like we probably could have got away with a 4th, as say we lost about $300 doing another one. We would have made 500. So a successful experiment, I would say, today. And we also know that we can gain popularity across 3 shows. As it says, you gain popularity in one region every single time. Would that happen after a 4th show? We'll probably find out in the next episode, as we likely introduce a brand new show to showcase the stars of Strong Style Americas that don't get as many opportunities on the main card. And if you have enjoyed today's emotional and action-packed episode, make sure you drop a like down below and check out all of the links in the description and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss another episode. But until next time, peace.